Well, as you can see, I've got myself down onto the rocks here, and what I'm going to be doing is some bait fishing. And the plan is to fish dusk into darkness. But I've got myself down here nice and early so I can get myself all set up and ready before the light goes. Now, being realistic and being honest, and this is based on experience, lots of experience of fishing this mark over the years at this time of year and fishing it after dark. If I catch something, the most likely thing I'm going to catch is dogfish. That's just being honest. It's fishing, you never know. I might get lucky and pick up a bass, or I might get lucky and pick something else up that moves through, but dogfish is the most likely thing that I'll catch. So what I thought I'd do, if I do catch one, to add a bit of interest and value to the video, I'm going to do a catch and cook dogfish. Now, I've already done a catch and cook dogfish a couple of years ago, but on this occasion what I'm going to do is smoke the dogfish. Now, some of you may know, some of you may not, that smoking dogfish, which is a member of the shark family, the small shark family, is a great way to cook them. They're really good smoked. They've got some oil in the flesh, which lends itself well to smoking, and they're very, very good smoked. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the setup that I've got, for those interested, I've just got a cheap beach cast which I've had for absolutely years. It's just a 12-foot 4 to 8 ounce beach caster. On that 6,500C multiplier, loaded with 15-pound mono and a 50-pound shock leader, a little bit longer than a little bit longer than twice the length of the rod. So a pretty standard setup. Now, the rig I'm going to be using is a pennel pulley rig. I'm going to use a pulley rig. The reason for that is, although I'm going to be fishing on clean ground, if I do catch something, I've got to draw it over some submerged rocks which are close to shore here. So fishing the pulley rig will help to keep that lead up high and prevent me getting snagged. Okay, so the pulley rig is made up of, the main body is 50-pound clear amnesia, a 30-pound trace line down to two 2.0 hooks. Not big hooks, so average size hooks, 2.0 hooks. Now, one great thing about this session, particularly fishing after dark, is that I've got great conditions, very, very calm conditions. Virtually no wind, any wind is an offshore. Virtually flat calm, so no worries about swells coming in or anything like that. So great conditions. So I don't need heavy leads, 4 to 5 ounces. And the idea is I'm just going to cast it out as far as I can onto clean ground. But the good thing is, wherever I'm fishing, I'm not going to be far away from rough ground, rocky, weedy ground. So that's a good thing. Now, the bait that I've got with me is just plain old mackerel strip, which, if there are any dogfish around, they will definitely find it. They'll definitely find it and go for it. But it's, as many of you know, it's a great all-round bait. Will catch just about anything. If there's bass around, they'll go for it. In fact, some of the best bass I've ever had on the surf beaches after dark is fishing with mackerel strip. Okay, so I'll finish getting myself set up, get the lighting set up for the video making after dark so you can see something. And I'll start fishing before the light goes, but I'm not really expecting any action, if I do get any action, until that light starts to really go. But we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm ready to start fishing. It's still about 3/4 of an hour before dusk, before the light really starts going. But we'll start now. So I've got my bit of mackerel strip on, got it clipped down. As I said, the idea is I'm just going to cast this out as far as I can onto the sand, onto the clean ground, but all around the sand patch will be rough ground beyond it, rough ground to the right of it, and rough ground to the left of it. So very, very close to rough ground. Out she goes. Good, we're fishing. I'll put a tip light on later, so when the light goes, if I get any bites, you'll get the camera on it and you'll be able to see it. Well, I've actually got a bite. Can you just see how that? Can you see how the rod tip's just rattling there? Now, that is almost certain to be a dogfish. How that you always get the sort of the rod tip sort of rattles like that. Very rarely get a pull, unless it's a really strong pull down. It's usually just a rattle. But still, at least it's a good sign. But as I said in the intro there, the most likely catch was definitely going to be dogfish. But I didn't expect them, although the light is going. I didn't expect to get any sign of anything until the light had gone a lot more. Yeah, that's definitely a dogfish. May be wrong, but pretty sure that's what it is. I'll try and bring this down a bit and give you a closer look at the dogfish bite, for those of you that are not familiar with what it looks like. Get a bit closer. See that sort of rattle. Though of course many anglers, when they're after other things on the beaches and off the rocks, will sort of be saying, oh no, dogfish. But one thing about dogfish, at least they save a blank. The chances of me catching anything else are slim, to be honest with you. Okay, we'll see if it's on. Let's tighten the drag up. Yep, looks like it's on. As I mentioned, I've got rocks to about 30 yards out here, so I've got to get it up high, get it over these rocks here, which is where the pennel comes into its own. The pulley rig. Comes. For those of you who don't know what I mean when I say pulley, notice how the lead, because of the weight of the fish is heavier than the lead, notice how the lead is really high there. The fish pulls the lead up. That's the idea of the pulley, so it keeps it, this is for you beginners, it keeps the lead high So less chance of getting snagged. Right. One dogfish. And for those of you that watch from other countries than the UK that don't get these, it's called a lesser spotted dogfish. You've got lesser spotted dogfish and you've got greater spotted dogfish. What we call the lesser spotted dogfish, and we call the greater spotted, which grow much bigger, the bullhuss. But member of the shark family, as I said in the intro, the small shark family. Just had a little rattle on the rod tip then. Sometimes you get that with dogfish, you just get a little rattle and then nothing, and can take quite a while before they actually you actually get them and get them hooked. But yeah, just moved, just rattled a little bit. Yep, definitely a dogfish bite. Right, I'm gonna put this one back. This one's a bit too small to get much off of. So we'll put this one back and hope for a better size one. And away it goes. The rod tip's going again. Wow, I have to say, what a fantastic evening it is to be down here fishing off the rocks. It's a real pleasure. No wind, no rain, really still. Yeah, once again, just had a little rattle, and then now nothing, but hopefully it will develop. Now what I like to do with dogfish that I'm going to take home is get them clean quickly. Now some people say that when they eat dogfish or eat shark that they experience an ammonia flavour. Now the reason for that is because sharks, like this dogfish, they urinate through their skin. So first thing you've got to do is get them clean quickly to get rid of all that that's inside. So basically that can't happen. And another thing is, when I take dogfish, I never eat dogfish on the same day. Usually, if I get back, and if I've got time when I get back, I'll skin them, and then pop the meat in the fridge to be eaten the next day or the day after that. Or if I can't do that, I'll freeze it and then take it out. And I have never experienced the ammonia flavour, as said, in all the years that I've been eating dogfish. And I think that's why. Clean them quickly, chill them in the fridge, eat them next day or a couple of days, or freeze them, and you shouldn't have a problem. I mean, other people say that soaking them in milk overnight helps. Okay, so we'll get this one cleaned. And then I've cleaned it. I'll give it a good wash. And when I get back home, I'll check this and make sure it's really clean. And as I said, if I've got time, I'll skin them tonight. But if not, pop them in the fridge and skin them tomorrow. But I'm going to pack up now and get back up this cliff and get on home. It's getting late now. But I'm happy. I've got a couple. I did say the most likely catch would be dogfish, and I was right. So I'm going to get back home, and I'm not going to skin them tonight. I'm going to pop them in the fridge, and I'm going to skin them tomorrow when I've got more time. Now, I've already done a detailed video of how to skin a dogfish when I did the previous catch and cook dogfish. So rather than me film all that again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show that footage again of the actual skinning of the dogfish. But it's going to be exactly the same as I'm going to skin these dogfish tomorrow. So we'll show that footage now, and then I'll resume tomorrow sometime and move on to the preparation for smoking the dogfish. The first thing I need to do is remove the fins. So with a really sharp knife, I'm going to start on the top of the fish and just take the fins off. And turn it over. Now when it comes to these fins at the belly section, what I like to do is actually also take off the belly flaps here. And the reason I do that is that it makes it much easier to skin. So I'm just going to cut through the fins and just carry on. Taking those flaps off. Now these fins I always leave, and again it's just that I find it easier to skin with those fins left on. The next step is we've got to cut just under the skin along the top of the dogfish from the head to the tail, and also from the bottom, from the vent here down to the tail. So as long as you've got a really sharp knife, this is, I won't say it's easy to do, but it makes it a lot easier. So what I like to do is just cut into a soft bit here where you've taken the fin off, and then just run the knife under the skin. Right the way up to the head there. Then turn it round, and again come in at the soft bit and just head down towards the tail. So that's the top done, and now the underside, and again start at the vent there, cut down to where you've taken one of the fins off, and just carry on down to the tail like that. What we've got to do now is actually cut under the skin just below the head here. So what I like to do is just take the knife and just push it down through right to the belly, and then just cut up like that. So what we're doing is we're separating the skin into two halves to make it much easier to skin. But what you've got to make sure you do is that the skin is separated all the way around, that there's no bits like that connected, because if there's bits like that connected, when you come to skin it, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then the same the other side. And again, making sure that there's no skin attached. Right, now that's done, we're ready to actually skin it. To take the skin off, I find that these work the best, these pincers. Now you can use a pair of pliers, but I just found that these pincers give a better grip. So we're going to take hold of the head and then take the skin in the pincers, clamp down tight, and then pull, and hopefully, it doesn't always work this way, it'll all come off in one piece like that. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it breaks and you have to start again, but if you do the preparation right, cutting the top, under the skin and cutting around the head right, and as I say, I find it works better if I leave those fins on, most times it comes off okay. Right, so now hopefully this will come off just as smoothly. That's it. So all So what I need to do now is just cut the tail off and then just remove the head. So once you've skinned dogfish enough times, it's actually not that difficult. And these were both done in exactly the same way. Okay, I'm not going to have both of these smoked. We're going to have one of these smoked and the other one is going to be frozen down to eat on another occasion. So the first thing I need to do is fillet the dogfish. So they will go in the fridge overnight and tomorrow I'll start the preparation for the smoking. Okay, I'm ready to do the smoking, but what I've done first to prepare the fillets for smoking is first soak them in a brine, a very, very simple brine, which is just a mix of dissolved sea salt in water. 10% sea salt to the quantity of water. And then just cover the fish completely with the brine, and I popped it in the fridge for about an hour. Then rinsed them, dried them, and then give them a light coating, a light brushing with olive oil. And the smoking dust that I'm going to use is this. This is beech. All right, so I just need to get the smoker all ready and we'll get on and get these fillets smoked. All right, I put a thin layer of the smoking dust, the beech, at the bottom of the pan there. Next goes the drip tray, then the rack with the fillets of fish, then the lid, and then I've got my burner, which I just fill up with methylated spirit. And basically for fillets, that's how I time it. When that, just like that, when that burns out, that's it, and it's roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. So just got to light that, and then we'll start the smoking. And on with the pan. Now, many people, when I've done smoking fish videos in the past, have asked me about this little smoker, which has been brilliant. And as I've said in the comments there, this is an old smoker made by Dam. It's no longer available on the market, but this is the next one what they do now, much bigger. Obviously get more fish in it. Also made by Dam. This has got 2 burners on, and I purchased this because they've been so good, just in case. See, it's not even been used, just in case these go off the market. And this one, the older one, is getting a bit worn anyway. So it's great to have that one, and I'll use that sometime when I've got a lot more fish to smoke. burner's burnt out now, so the fillets will be done. So I'll slide the lid back and we'll have a look at them. Now I'm hoping you'll be able to see this, because for the actual smoking, I moved the smoker right to the front of the shed here by the entrance and well away from anything for obvious reasons. But this is well away from the lights that I've got here in the shed, so fingers crossed you'll be able to see something, but if not, we'll have a look later. So well, there's our fantastic golden smoked dogfish, and it smells absolutely fantastic. It's going to taste even better. We're going to have these tonight cold with some potatoes from the garden and either some veg or some salad. But of course you can serve them with whatever you like, whatever you normally serve hot smoked fish like mackerel. We can have them on their own with some sort of dip or whatever. But I'm just going to dig in and have a little taste now. Oh, I can promise you that is absolutely fantastic. A really fantastic flavour. Very, 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 very moist. Hasn't dried out at all. In fact, in my opinion, this is if you like smoked fish, this is one of the best ways to enjoy dogfish. Absolutely delicious. In fact, I'm going to have a little bit more, because I actually love hot smoked fish straight while it's still warm. So I'll pinch a bit of my bit for this evening's meal. Absolutely brilliant, and definitely worth the effort. So there you go. If you eat dogfish and you're looking for an alternative way to cook them, and you like smoked fish and you've never tried smoked dogfish before, give it a go. I am pretty sure you will not be disappointed. It really is a great way to enjoy dogfish. Alright, so what I've got to do now is try and resist eating more of this before this evening's meal, which might be a little bit difficult. So once again, I hope you found that useful, and many, many thanks for watching.